Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about 5 different ways in which you can help better manage your money in 2022. So I'm going to go ahead in this video and share with you some different ways and different tips I use to help better manage my money for the whole month. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about, how to save, how to plan, and, how to maybe even purchase some things that you guys are really excited about that go a little bit outside of the budget. So let's get started. Okay, so starting off with tip number 1, and that is to go ahead and, download some apps for your phone. We all carry phones around in our pockets all day, and just like we spend money all day. So, there are apps like Mint, Every Dollar, Buddy, and these apps go ahead and track, all your financials for the month or for the year, and especially with apps like Mint, you can link with your bank account and your credit card and other different financial accounts that you guys have, and it can go ahead and compile all of these budgets into an easy to use visual. So it kind of shows you this interesting pie chart where it sort of breaks down per month what you're spending on. And the great thing about Mint is that it actually can go ahead and pretty easily break down what you're spending on, whether it's shopping, whether it's food, whether it's bills. Mint has this great thing where it kind of shows you where you're spending all your money at. I think another great thing to do is that even if you don't like using your phone or using your app or just kind of feel weird about linking your bank accounts, a lot of people actually just like to go ahead and just track with pencil and paper. And I think that's also a really, really great way to go ahead and, really see how much you're spending and just really keeping track, because every time you write it down, did you get an extra coffee today? Did you, go out to a nice dinner? I think it's really important to write all these things down so then you can at the end of the month go back and look to say, okay, wow, maybe I'm spending a little, more than I thought I was every month. So definitely keeping track of how much you're spending is super, super important to, staying financially ready. And sticking with the theme of phone apps, we have number 2, which is actually an app called Digit. Now, Digit is great, and I have been using it for years. It's this cool app where you link it to your main bank account, and each day, each week, a little bit of money is taken out pretty much without you noticing. So what that does is that, you go inside Digit and you essentially create something that you want to save for, whether it's bills, whether it's a trip, whether it's, credit card debt. You can sort of choose, how extensively and how extremely you want to save on Digit. So, you can tell that to aggressively, sort of pull money out of your account and put aside in a fund, or just kind of slowly over time. So I've been using this to, pay off my credit card debt. I'm actually going up on a trip to Greece, and, I've started to set aside money in this app to help pay for these things. And the great thing about Digit is that, when I look at my bank account, because I, check it a lot, I don't really notice the money missing all that much. And I think that's because I have it set to just kind of take, a few dollars here and there every week. And so it doesn't really bother me when this money comes out. So I think Digit is a great way to kind of just build a sort of fund that you want, and setting it aside every single month, and just kind of letting it build up, and not touching it, not worrying about it, and honestly not even really looking into the app until it's time for whatever you're saving for. There have been plenty of times where it's I'll go onto my Digit and be like, wow, I have $500 saved, and it's hasn't even been that long, or I forgot I had all this money in here. So Digit is a great way to make sure that your money is set aside, and you can't just spend it on things that you would have if the money was sitting in your account. Okay, so for tip number 3, we are talking about something called the 50-30-20 rule. Now, I'm sure a few of you have heard about this before, but this is a great way to really manage your budget each month. And what the 50-30-20 rule is 50% of your monthly income after taxes should be spent on things that you need, essentially. So that includes your rent, that includes, your mortgage, that includes groceries, food, things that, you have to pay every month to keep your life going. So, obviously that takes up the largest portion of your monthly income. So it's important to make sure that you have enough money to cover all of those things. Now, the other 30% of that is going to go to things that you want. So, whether it's a new Apple Watch, a new phone, just some new clothes that you've been wanting, 30% of your budget each month should be going to things that you want. Now, the thing with this is I actually kind of scale this back because I'm actually pretty good about, not impulsively buying things, but it's really important to, each month put aside a portion of your money to treat yourself. You do work hard for your money, you do plan for your money, you do budget, so it's important to give yourself things that you need. And the great thing about this is that you can kind of, shorten it or lengthen it as much as you want. That's kind of what I do. But, there are people out there that it's important for them to, treat themselves a lot. And so maybe when you're out at the nice dinner, maybe you can go ahead and purchase yourself a steak or just something a little fancier and make sure that is included in the 30% of your budget. Now, the final 20% is going to go to savings. So this means that, you want to save inside, your checking account, your savings account, whether it goes to investments, to IRA, to stocks. You want to make sure that you're taking 20% of your monthly income and putting it away in something that's going to help plan for your future, and not only that, but you want to make sure that you have some sort of emergency fund being saved so that in case something unexpected comes up, that you're going to be covered, whether it's, hopefully nothing bad happens, but, car accidents or, just these crazy things that'll come up in your life that, will be really costly. I know that there's been a few times where I've been slammed with $1,000 bills every month. And, luckily I have something called an emergency fund, which is going to cover my rent, my food, my monthly costs for at least 3 to 4 months. I want to make sure that I'm always covered and feel, personally safe in case something crazy happens. So, I make sure to have an emergency fund, and I make sure to take, another good portion of that and put it into investments, put it into stocks, put it into my savings account, and just give myself a nice, cushion for, when I want to retire or just in case something crazy happens. So it's important to always, manage your money and give a certain percentage each month to things that are important. Okay, so tip number 4 is debt repayment. Now, this can mean anything from student loans to credit card debt to just even money you owe your friends. It's important to, when you get your money coming in each month, to make sure that these loans or these bills that you owe are paid off first. This is very, very important. You don't want your credit card debt piling up. You don't want any kind of, liabilities piling up against you, because this just means that going into the future, you will be under, a mountain of things that you owe. So it is important that, if for some of the month you get a little bit of extra money that comes in, it's really important to start putting that stuff towards the debt that you owe and get that off of your shoulders, because you don't want to be saddled with things every single month. You want to be able to treat yourself, to, buy yourself something expensive, buy yourself something nice. But it's really difficult when, you can just take your credit card and just go to the store and start swiping, and credit card debt can pile up. I've been through it. I've had friends that have been through it, and it's important to really sit down, look at what you owe, and making sure that you set a plan for yourself to go ahead and pay this off every single month. It's super, super important to make sure that your debts are completely and totally paid off before you really start treating yourself to something that wouldn't necessarily be a necessity in your life. And so finally is tip number 5, and that is to outline goals for yourself. What do you want to achieve when you start budgeting and start saving your money? Do you want to purchase a new car? Do you need to pay off debt? Do you need to, honestly just buy yourself something that you've been wanting? It's really important to really outline what you want to achieve with this. When I was in grad school, actually, one of the great things that we learned were to set SMART goals for ourselves. And SMART goals consist of specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely goals. So it wouldn't necessarily be a great SMART goal to say that you want to, achieve $10,000 by the end of the month. If you play the lottery and you win, then you're going to get the $10,000 by the end of the month. But usually for most of us, that's not going to happen. So it's important to really plan for things that you can actually achieve within a given time frame. For me personally, one of my SMART goals this year that I have written down is that I want to have $50,000 saved. And I think by the end of the year that I can attain that. That gives me enough time to keep earning money, do side projects, do side hustles, find something to keep that revenue coming in, but it also kind of gives me a goalpost or a finish line to look out for and to head towards. So it's really important to set these goals for yourself in a way that you can actually achieve them. And so it's really, really important to make sure that, when you are setting aside a budget and looking at your money, what do you hope to achieve with this? And how can you set a timeline or a budget for yourself that you can actually stick with and help attain and make yourself feel better? Okay, so those are my 5 tips for budgeting and helping you save for 2022. Now, if you liked these tips, or if you guys have any comments, or you guys want to, share some of your tips, please comment below and let me know what really helps you guys budget and helps you guys save. So, if you like this video, please make sure to hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.